So finally, our signature question that we ask all the actors that we interview. We love to hear a little bit about people's backstories. So tell us, for both of you, what was your first acting experience that made you decide that you wanted to become an actor?
Oh man, oof, okay. Were we? Right, my Kmart ads when I was 8. That's really when it happened. Yeah. No, I think it's funny. I remember I had an audition when I was very, very young. I was probably like 6 years old, and they're just like asking questions, right? And they're like, "What are your hobbies?" And I didn't know what the word hobby meant, and I was too afraid to ask what a hobby was. So I was like, "I don't have any." And I remember being totally terrified at the time, and it really took me many, many years. It probably was, I think, the point I wanted to be an actor for sure. Like I was a dancer, and then I went to an arts high school and did acting. And then I think it's when I booked a commercial, to be honest, because it was the first time that I had like off of independent of like school and being in plays or something like that, which feels like it's a microcosm. It's its own like family and world. It was like an independent moment where I did something that got me some job that seemed interesting. And I think even though it was just a silly little commercial, it was sort of like a moment of being like, oh, like I have agency in this and skill that's independent of like, previous relationships I have or anything like that. So weirdly, I think that's the moment I decided I wanted to keep doing it. Yeah.
Great. Simon?
I've always been a part of being in the film and TV. I started when I was 8 years old. So, it was always these, growing up. Obviously, Smoke Signals was one of my third films that I did when I first started, and going from after that, it sort of just whirlwinded it from show to show, and in between those times, my mother would stop and ask me, son, is this something you're still interested in? Is this something that you still want to do? And there was points in time in my career where it was, okay, well, yeah, I do need to take a break, or I need to, so she always gave me those options. But it really, when I started to work with a lot of great people and seeing that, I might have some talent in this, that's when I started to, really put my mind and put my energy into this. And coming out of a school called CFC in Toronto, I was a part of the Actors Conservatory there, and I just started to learn from people and started to, really hone in on my craft and understand what it's all about. So acting it never stops, it's one of those things that just keeps on creating, and we keep on learning from it, right? So I think Smoke Signals was one of the first. So that's when I started to realize that I love acting and I love to do what I do, and hopefully it continues.
Yeah.